Since the beginning of time, humanity has looked at the world and imagined something greater. With stone, faith, and vision, we shaped mountains into temples and deserts into cities. Every civilization left behind a masterpiece, a reflection of its dreams and its courage. The pyramids that rise from Egypt's sands, the bridges that cross endless rivers, the cathedrals that touch the clouds, each stands as proof of what the human spirit can achieve. These are not just monuments of power or beauty, they are stories carved in stone, tales of faith, ambition, and wonder. That echo across centuries. From ancient empires to modern skylines, we have turned imagination into reality and left our mark upon the earth. Now join us on a journey across time and continents to witness 50 of the greatest man-made wonders of the world. Timeless creations that remind us that as long as we dream, the world will never stop building miracles. In the endless sands of Cairo rise 3 monumental pyramids that have stood for over 4,500 years. The Great Pyramid of Cheops, built from more than 2 million limestone blocks, remains one of the most astonishing engineering feats in history. Each stone, placed with mathematical precision, contributes to a geometric perfection that has endured the passing of empires. These pyramids were not just tombs, but bridges between heaven and earth, reflecting the Egyptians' profound understanding of life, death, and eternity. Rising dramatically from the Sri Lankan jungle, the rock fortress of Sigiriya tells the story of ambition and artistry. Built by King Kashyapa in the 5th century, this citadel merges nature and architecture in an awe-inspiring display. The climb through lion-shaped gates leads to ancient frescoes of mysterious maidens painted on the rock face, their colors still vivid after 15 centuries. At the summit once stood royal palaces surrounded by hanging gardens and reflecting pools, all suspended above the forest canopy. Sigiriya remains one of the most astonishing symbols of ancient engineering and creativity. In the heart of Ninh province lies Hang Mua, a place where stone steps wind toward the sky. Known as the Dancing Cave, this site was once a royal retreat for Tran dynasty kings who came to watch performances below the mountains. Today, travelers climb nearly 500 steep steps to reach the Dragon Viewpoint, where a breathtaking panorama unfolds. Golden rice fields, limestone cliffs, and the winding Ngo River weaving through the valley. Every view from the summit feels like a painting, capturing Vietnam's timeless harmony between nature and devotion. In Samarkand, where the ancient Silk Road once flourished, stands Registan Square, a magnificent ensemble of madrasas covered in turquoise tiles and golden mosaics. Built between the 15th and 17th centuries, the Registan was the heart of education, culture, and science in Central Asia. Its geometric patterns and calligraphy reflect mathematical perfection and divine symmetry, creating an open-air masterpiece that glows under the desert sun. Even today, when moonlight falls upon its domes, Registan Square seems to whisper the stories of scholars, poets, and traders who once crossed its sacred ground. On the banks of the Yamuna River, the Taj Mahal rises like a vision of love carved in white marble. Built by Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, it is both a tomb and a poem in stone. Its domes, minarets, and arches follow perfect symmetry, reflecting on the still waters of its gardens. As the day changes, the marble shifts from pink at dawn to gold at sunset, mirroring the emotions of eternal love. Every corner of the Taj Mahal is a story of devotion, beauty, and a man's promise to keep love alive forever. Spread across the vast plains of central Myanmar, more than 2,000 temples rise like golden spires from the mist. This is Bagan, once the heart of an ancient Buddhist empire. Between the 11th and 13th centuries, kings built thousands of pagodas, stupas, and monasteries, each one representing faith turned into architecture. At sunrise, as hot air balloons drift above the horizon, the temples of Bagan glow like embers in a sea of clouds. It is a place where time seems to stand still, and where every brick holds the prayer of centuries. Hidden among the clouds of the Andes Mountains lies Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas. Built in the 15th century, this masterpiece of stone sits perfectly between two peaks, blending harmoniously with its surroundings. Each block was carved and fitted without mortar, resisting earthquakes for more than 500 years. Machu Picchu is not only an engineering wonder, but also a spiritual sanctuary where the Incas aligned temples with celestial events. Walking its terraces is like stepping into a dialogue between humanity and the heavens. carved into a red sandstone cliff at the meeting of three rivers. The great Buddha of Leshan stands as one of China's grandest creations. At 233 feet tall, this colossal statue took 90 years to complete during the Tang dynasty. Its design hides a clever drainage system within the folds of its robe, protecting it from erosion for over 12 centuries. Built to calm dangerous waters and safeguard sailors, the great Buddha remains a symbol of faith, peace, and timeless craftsmanship. In northern Ethiopia lies Lalibela, a place where 11 churches were carved entirely from living rock in the 12th century. These monolithic structures, created from top to bottom, form a labyrinth of tunnels, passages, and courtyards. The Church of St. George, shaped like a perfect cross, is the most iconic, a marvel of symmetry and devotion. Each church still serves as a place of worship, glowing with candlelight and the sound of ancient chants. Lalibela is a miracle of human faith and persistence, born from stone and prayer. Hidden within rose-red cliffs in the Jordanian desert, Petra is a city carved rather than built. Once the capital of the Nabatean kingdom, it flourished as a center of trade over 2,000 years ago. The entrance through the narrow Sick Canyon opens suddenly to reveal the breathtaking treasury, its intricate facade carved directly into sandstone. Petra's temples, tombs, and amphitheaters stretch across a vast valley. Illuminated each dawn by golden light. It stands as a silent testament to a civilization that shaped the desert into eternal beauty. In the heart of Rome stands the Colosseum, the grand amphitheater where history, glory, and blood once met. Built nearly 2,000 years ago by Emperor Vespasian, it could hold over 50,000 spectators. Its arches, corridors, and underground chambers reveal the Romans' unmatched mastery of design. Here, gladiators fought for honor, emperors ruled with spectacle, and crowds roared beneath the Mediterranean sun. Though scarred by time, the Colosseum remains the most powerful symbol of ancient Rome's might and imagination. Surrounded by jungle and mist, Angkor Wat rises as a temple of divine geometry. Built in the 12th century by King Suryavarman II, this monumental complex represents the Hindu universe carved in stone. Its towers symbolize the peaks of Mount Meru, while its galleries tell stories of gods, battles, and eternal cycles. As the dawn light touches its lotus-like domes, Angkor Wat glows with golden serenity, a spiritual heartbeat that still echoes through the forests of Cambodia. Stretching over 13,000 miles, the Great Wall of China winds across mountains, deserts, and valleys like a sleeping dragon. Built over centuries by dynasties to defend their lands, it is one of the most ambitious constructions in human history. Millions of workers, soldiers, and craftsmen contributed to its creation, laying stone and brick across impossible terrain. Standing atop its watchtowers, one feels both the strength and solitude of an empire that sought to guard the sky itself. In the heart of Istanbul stands Hagia Sophia, a masterpiece where the East and West embrace. First built as a cathedral in the 6th century under Emperor Justinian, it later became a mosque and now serves as a living museum of civilizations. Its massive dome seems to float on air, and its golden mosaics shimmer like captured sunlight. For centuries, Hagia Sophia has inspired artists and architects across the world, standing as a timeless fusion of faith, power, and beauty. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, the mysterious island of Rapa Nui is guarded by nearly 900 Moai. Colossal stone statues carved between the 13th and 16th centuries. Each figure, with solemn eyes facing inland, represents ancestral power and protection. Crafted from volcanic rock, some Moai weigh more than 80 tons, yet were moved miles across rugged land. Their silent presence still puzzles archaeologists and stirs the imagination, echoes of a civilization lost to time, but never to wonder. Buried beneath the earth in Xi'an lies an army that has slept for over 2 millennia. The Terracotta warriors, thousands of life-size soldiers, horses, and chariots, were built to guard the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. Each statue has a unique face, armor, and expression, reflecting incredible craftsmanship and individuality. Discovered in 1974, this underground world revealed a civilization's devotion to immortality, standing frozen in eternal readiness beneath the soil of China. Across the dry plains of southern Peru stretch massive geoglyphs, animals, shapes, and spirals etched into the earth. The Nazca lines, created over 1,500 years ago, can only be truly seen from the sky. Some scholars believe they were drawn for gods, others for astronomical or ceremonial purposes. Whatever their meaning, their precision remains astonishing. These silent desert artworks are reminders that creativity often begins where mystery lives, in the connection between heaven and earth. Deep in the Yucatan Peninsula lies Chichen Itza, the ancient city of the Maya. Its central pyramid, El Castillo, is a precise astronomical calendar. On the equinox, sunlight creates the illusion of a serpent slithering down its staircase. Around it stand temples, ball courts, and sacred wells that once shaped the lives of a powerful civilization. Chichen Itza is not only a symbol of science and faith, but a testament to how deeply the Maya understood both the stars and the soul. Suspended across San Francisco Bay, the Golden Gate Bridge is one of modern engineering's greatest icons. Completed in 1937, its Art Deco towers and sweeping cables stretch nearly 2 kilometers, turning steel into poetry. Once thought impossible due to fierce winds and fog, it became a global symbol of progress and courage. Painted in its famous international orange, the bridge glows against sunsets and storms alike. A triumph of design that connects not just 2 shores, but 2 eras of innovation. At the heart of Vatican City stands St. Peter's Basilica, a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture and a spiritual beacon for millions. Designed by masters like Michelangelo and Bernini, its vast dome rises above Rome like a vision of divine perfection. Inside, marble columns, golden altars, and timeless art fill every corner with awe. Built over the tomb of St. Peter, the church represents centuries of devotion and craftsmanship, standing as both a house of faith and a monument to human genius. Rising from the misty jungles of central Java, Borobudur stands as the world's largest Buddhist temple, a stone mandala built to represent the path to enlightenment. Constructed in the 9th century from more than 2 million volcanic blocks, its 9 stacked platforms are adorned with over 500 Buddha statues and intricate carvings that tell sacred stories. As dawn breaks, sunlight glows on the temple's stupas, illuminating centuries of devotion. Borobudur is not just a monument of stone. It is a mountain of faith, built to lead the soul from earth to nirvana. In the heart of Beijing lies the Forbidden City, an imperial palace complex that once served as the center of Chinese power for nearly 5 centuries. Built during the Ming Dynasty in the early 1400s, its vast courtyards, crimson walls, and golden roofs reflect a world of harmony and order. Home to 24 emperors, it was a city within a city, where every color, corridor, and gate held symbolic meaning. Today, it stands as one of the greatest achievements of traditional Chinese architecture, a living testament to royal grandeur and cosmic balance. Perched high in the Bavarian Alps, Neuschwanstein Castle looks like something out of a fairy tale. Commissioned by King Ludwig II in the 19th century, it was inspired by legends, music, and medieval romance. Its soaring towers and breathtaking views later became the inspiration for Disney's Sleeping Beauty Castle. Inside, every hall and chamber reflects the king's dreamlike imagination, a world where art, myth, and solitude meet. Neuschwanstein is more than a fortress. It is a window into a dreamer's soul. Overlooking the city of Granada, the Alhambra is a masterpiece of Islamic architecture, where poetry and geometry unite in perfect balance. Built by the Nasrid sultans during the 13th and 14th centuries, it was both palace and fortress, a paradise of courtyards, fountains, and intricate arabesques. Its calligraphy-covered walls whisper verses from the Quran, while the sound of flowing water brings peace to every corner. The Alhambra is a living poem in stone, a reflection of a culture that saw beauty as a form of faith. High above the plains of Thessaly, monasteries perch on towering rock pillars suspended between heaven and earth. Built by monks during the 14th and 15th centuries, the Meteora monasteries were places of prayer and refuge from invasion. Reached once only by rope ladders and baskets, these sacred retreats seem to defy gravity itself. Surrounded by clouds and silence, they embody the human desire to reach closer to the divine. Meteora remains one of the most extraordinary unions of nature and spirituality on Earth. Clinging to a cliffside near Mount Heng, the Hanging Monastery is one of the most daring architectural feats in the world. Built more than 1,500 years ago, it seems to float in mid-air, supported by wooden beams anchored deep into the rock. Remarkably, it combines elements of Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism within a single sacred space. A rare harmony of faiths. Through centuries of storms and earthquakes, Xuankong has stood strong, symbolizing balance, resilience, and the courage to build against all odds. At the heart of Rome, where ancient aqueducts once ended, the Trevi fountain roars with timeless beauty. Completed in 1762, it is the largest Baroque fountain in the city, a dramatic blend of sculpture, water, and mythology. Oceanus, the god of the sea, rides his chariot through cascading waves, surrounded by sea creatures and stone gods. Visitors toss coins into its waters, a tradition promising a return to Rome. The Trevi Fountain is not just a monument, it is a celebration of art, romance, and the eternal rhythm of the city. Perched dramatically on a cliff 3,000 feet above the Paro Valley, the Tiger's Nest Monastery, or Paro Taksang, is one of the world's most breathtaking spiritual sanctuaries. Legend says Guru Rinpoche flew here on the back of a tiger to meditate and spread Buddhism. Built in the 17th century, the monastery clings to sheer rock faces surrounded by mist and prayer flags fluttering in the wind. Its beauty is both serene and powerful, a reminder that faith can rise even from the edge of the impossible. Standing proudly on the Ile de la Cité in Paris, Notre-Dame is one of the finest examples of Gothic architecture ever built. Completed in the 14th century, its soaring spires, stained glass rose windows, and flying buttresses embody the height of medieval craftsmanship. Within its vast interior, light filters through colored glass like divine fire. Though scarred by time and tragedy, Notre-Dame continues to symbolize hope, endurance, and the soul of Paris itself, a living hymn in stone and glass. Carved into the cliffs of southern Egypt over 3,000 years ago, Abu Simbel stands as a monument to the power and legacy of Pharaoh Ramesses II. 4 colossal statues guard the entrance, their faces illuminated by the sun twice each year. On the pharaoh's birthday and coronation day. When the Aswan Dam threatened to submerge it in the 1960s, engineers relocated the entire temple block by block, saving it from the rising waters. Abu Simbel is both ancient and eternal, a reminder that human determination can preserve even the miracles of the past. Just outside Paris stands the magnificent Palace of Versailles, a symbol of royal grandeur and absolute power. Originally a simple hunting lodge, it was transformed in the 17th century by King Louis XIV into the grandest royal residence in Europe. Its glittering hall of mirrors, endless gardens, and exquisite fountains reflect the king's vision of divine rule and perfection. Every marble column and golden ornament tells a story of elegance, excess, and ambition. Versailles is more than a palace. It is the ultimate expression of human artistry and authority, frozen in time. Carved into the granite cliffs of South Dakota's Black Hills, Mount Rushmore captures the faces of 4 American presidents: Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln. Conceived in the early 20th century, the project took 14 years of determined work to complete. Each face, standing 60 feet tall, symbolizes the founding, expansion, preservation, and development of the United States. Beyond its monumental scale, Mount Rushmore reflects the spirit of endurance and the human desire to etch greatness into the very bones of the earth. Known as the White Heron Castle, Himeji Castle soars gracefully above the city of Hyogo, appearing to take flight when sunlight strikes its white walls. Built in the early 17th century, it is Japan's finest surviving example of feudal architecture. With over 80 interconnected buildings, secret passages, and winding defenses, it was designed to both protect and inspire. Having survived wars and natural disasters, Himeji remains a masterpiece of symmetry and strength, an enduring symbol of Japanese culture and resilience. On the windswept plains of southern England stands Stonehenge, a prehistoric monument wrapped in mystery. Composed of massive stone circles dating back more than 4,000 years, it continues to puzzle historians and scientists. Whether a temple of the sun, an astronomical observatory, or a sacred burial site, its purpose remains hidden in time. Each stone, transported from miles away, carries the weight of human curiosity and belief. Stonehenge is both ancient and eternal, a silent witness to our endless search for meaning in the universe. Perched high above the city of Lhasa, the Potala Palace dominates the skyline of Tibet with its red and white walls glowing under the Himalayan sun. Once the winter residence of the Dalai Lama, this towering fortress blends political power with spiritual devotion. Rising over 12,000 feet above sea level, it contains over 1,000 rooms filled with sacred relics, golden statues, and ancient scriptures. The Potala Palace stands as a bridge between earth and heaven, a place where prayer and purpose reach the clouds. In Moscow's Red Square rises St. Basil's Cathedral, one of the most colorful and recognizable landmarks in the world. Built in the 16th century by order of Ivan the Terrible, it celebrates Russia's triumph over Kazan. Its swirling onion domes painted in vibrant patterns give the impression of flames reaching toward the sky. Inside, narrow passages lead to chapels adorned with frescoes and icons. More than a church, St. Basil's is a vision of creativity. A fairy tale of faith and fire sculpted in stone. Carved into the volcanic rock of Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves form a breathtaking complex of 34 temples representing three major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Created between the 6th and 10th centuries, these sanctuaries were chiseled directly from the mountainside. The centerpiece, the Kailasa Temple, is carved from a single monolithic rock and is larger than the Parthenon. Ellora reflects unity through diversity, showing how faith, art, and engineering can merge into one timeless creation of devotion and skill. Dominating the skyline of Yangon, the Shwedagon Pagoda glows like a golden flame beneath the setting sun. Covered with over 20,000 gold plates and crowned with diamonds and rubies, it is Myanmar's most sacred Buddhist site. According to legend, the pagoda enshrines relics from 4 Buddhas, making it a spiritual heart for millions. For over 2,500 years, pilgrims have circled its golden stupa in prayer and reverence. Shwedagon is more than a monument. It is a living symbol of faith and the enduring light of enlightenment. Hidden in the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, Uxmal stands as one of the most refined cities of the ancient Maya. Built in the 10th century, it reflects the Puke architectural style, known for its intricate carvings and geometric harmony. The Pyramid of the Magician, with its unusual rounded shape, dominates the site and remains shrouded in legend. Surrounded by temples, palaces, and courtyards, Uxmal reveals a civilization of science, art, and astronomy, a city where every stone was placed to honor the cosmos. Along the banks of the Nile lies Luxor, once the powerful city of Thebes, the capital of ancient Egypt for centuries. Here, colossal temples dedicated to gods like Amun-Ra rise alongside rows of sphinxes and towering obelisks. The temples of Karnak and Luxor remain some of the most spectacular monuments ever built, their hieroglyph-covered columns telling tales of pharaohs and eternity. As the sun sets over the desert, Luxor becomes an open-air museum where the ancient world still breathes and whispers through the sands of time. Standing proudly beside the River Thames, the Palace of Westminster is the beating heart of British democracy and one of the world's most recognized landmarks. Rebuilt in the 19th century after a devastating fire, it combines Gothic Revival elegance with political power. Its most famous tower, Big Ben, has become a global symbol of tradition and time. Inside its ornate halls, history continues to unfold, reminding the world that leadership and architecture can both stand the test of centuries. At the heart of Venice lies St. Mark's Square, a place where elegance, culture, and history converge. Surrounded by arcades, palaces, and the magnificent St. Mark's Basilica, it has served as the city's social and political center for over 1,000 years. The sound of bells, pigeons in flight, and reflections on the flooded marble floors make it feel almost timeless. As the sun sets over the lagoon, the square becomes a living postcard of Venetian beauty and grace. In the vibrant city of Barcelona, the Sagrada Familia stands as Antoni Gaudi's unfinished masterpiece, a cathedral unlike any other on Earth. Its soaring spires and organic forms resemble a living forest of stone. Begun in 1882, it remains under construction to this day, blending Gothic inspiration with visionary modernism. Light filters through stained glass in waves of color, transforming the interior into a realm of peace and wonder. The Sagrada Familia is more than architecture. It is a lifelong prayer carved into the skyline. Towering above Rio de Janeiro, the statue of Christ the Redeemer stretches its arms wide over the city and sea. Completed in 1931, it stands 98 feet tall, atop Mount Corcovado, symbolizing faith, unity, and peace. The statue's Art Deco design reflects both simplicity and majesty, visible from nearly every corner of Rio. As the sun sets behind the mountains, Christ the Redeemer becomes a silhouette of compassion, a reminder that love and hope can rise above even the highest peaks. Once criticized and now adored, the Eiffel Tower has become the beating heart of Paris. Completed in 1889 for the World's Fair, Gustave Eiffel's iron lattice creation was a triumph of innovation and courage. Rising over 1,000 feet above the city, it was the tallest structure on Earth for decades. At night, its golden lights sparkle like a dream brought to life. The Eiffel Tower is not just a marvel of engineering, it is a symbol of romance, creativity, and the timeless allure of France. Standing tall in New York Harbor, the Statue of Liberty has welcomed millions of travelers to the shores of freedom. A gift from France to the United States in 1886, it represents hope, democracy, and the pursuit of a better life. Designed by Frederick Bartholdi with a steel framework by Gustave Eiffel, it was an engineering wonder of its time. The torch she holds high is not just a beacon for ships, but a symbol of humanity's enduring belief in liberty and light. Rising above the Kuala Lumpur skyline, the Petronas Twin Towers embody Malaysia's vision of progress and pride. Completed in 1998, they were once the tallest buildings in the world. Soaring to a height of 1,483 feet. Connected by a sky bridge between their shimmering steel facades, they represent both modern engineering and cultural identity. Inspired by Islamic design, the towers mirror both tradition and technology, standing as two gleaming symbols of a nation reaching for the future. Set against the waters of Sydney Harbour, the Opera House is one of the most distinctive buildings on Earth. Designed by Danish architect Jørn Utzon and completed in 1973, its white sail-like roofs appear to float above the sea. Inside, it hosts world-class performances of music, theatre, and art. The Opera House is more than a venue. It is a celebration of creativity, symbolizing how vision and innovation can transform a city into a global icon. Spanning the River Thames since 1894, Tower Bridge stands as both an engineering marvel and a beloved symbol of London. Combining bascule and suspension technology, its twin towers lift gracefully to allow ships to pass below. Its Gothic details blend perfectly with the city's skyline, linking London's medieval heart to its modern pulse. Tower Bridge is not just a crossing, it is a living monument to the ingenuity and elegance of the Victorian era. Rising from the banks of the Narmada River, the Statue of Unity honors Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the man who united India after independence. Standing at 597 feet, it is the tallest statue in the world, completed in 2018 after 4 years of intense construction. Made of bronze and steel, it overlooks the valley with strength and calm. The Statue of Unity is not only a symbol of leadership, but a reminder that unity itself is humanity's greatest monument.